There's cracks here, missing paint here, paint all along my trim here. I don't even know what that is.
Tonight on Q2, several Huntley residents say they're living in a house of horrors.
Keep gaslighting me and pushing it further and further in time. I start to get a little salty about it, and I don't think it's okay. Just communicate with me. I've been very honest since day one. As long as you communicate, everything's fine.
From the floors to the walls.
See how it pushes that piece out? Like it's not supposed to do that.
Concerning problems piling up, and so are the complaints.
No, I was infuriated. I still am.
And the story behind this video and this wavy floor.
That's the floor, the whole floor is moving.
I investigate right now on the MTN 530 News.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Andrea Lutz.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Tonight, a bundle of complaints from a group of homeowners in Huntley after they say the manufactured homes they bought are riddled with deficiencies in workmanship.
And in addition to that, some say they were promised water at a fixed rate that now they say they aren't getting. Well, all of the homes have one thing in common. They were purchased from J&J Homes in Billings, but manufactured out of state. As I found out, the owner is standing behind his business, pointing to his successful track record. For some, it was supposed to be a dream development.
It's beautiful out here.
It is.
Space away from the city.
It's quiet, it's peaceful.
A place of beauty.
Beautiful sunrises and sunsets.
And for Bev and Dan Freeman, a place to live out their retirement.
This is our retirement plan.
This was an investment for us.
Yeah.
At least that was the plan. The Freemans bought their home in 2022, saying they were promised water to the tune of $70 a year because the area has no groundwater.
Every one of these homes has it in writing.
But they say that changed after the developer increased it to $195 a month, with homeowners given the chance to opt out.
My thought is he did that because he can't provide water.
The ordeal turned ugly for the Freemans when Bev says she tried to figure out what was going on.
He will make you believe that you are crazy. And so we went back and forth, and I was shaking, and I remember I hung up and I had a stroke. And
across the development at Allison Birchtold's house, she's dealing with the same water issues.
Okay, walk on the floor for us.
And flaws to her home so bad, her floor moves like water.
Okay,
She's been keeping records of it all. Siding is falling down, cracks in her walls, broken trim. And in addition to that rippling floor, walls are starting to buckle. She says she's repeatedly asked for the home to be repaired under its warranty, to no avail. But it's not just here. Amy Fox is a more recent customer of J&J Homes less than 10 miles away in Huntley.
It's devastating.
Fox says her 2-month-old home is also riddled with defects and missing items.
I have cracks on every window. All my doors show a gap with light in them, but I expect to be reimbursed for all these things that we have to pay extra money for.
Jason Wilcox, the owner of J&J Homes, sat down with me to go through those complaints one by one.
I have sold $60-some million by myself in manufactured homes. And for the media to bring up 4 or 5 disgruntled customers, although unfortunate, it's a pretty good record.
Jason's been in the manufactured home business for decades and stands by his product, saying he's providing a more affordable option for families at a time when home prices have skyrocketed.
I don't believe there's a site-built home that can go 1,500 miles and withstand it. Our homes are built as well as any stick-built or site-built home there is.
First, Jason says he did set water rates at $195 a month.
Is the cost higher than maybe some of them like? Maybe, but it's really competitive with any other water source in the area.
And when it comes to repairs, he says he's working on them.
Every single piece is stapled.
Quickly finishing the siding on Amy's house after we shot this video of her stapled on siding during our interview last week.
That doesn't look good.
It's terrible.
And remember that rippling floor in Allison's home? Well, Jason admits it's horrendous, saying it's on a list of warranty items to be repaired as soon as he can get it scheduled. But Jason's been taken to court before when two separate families filed lawsuits against his manufactured home business in 2013 and 2015 with his former company called Elite Homes. One family alleging their home never arrived with a furnace or hot water heater. Another alleging fraud, saying they paid a premium price for a custom home they believe was already built. Both were settled. In addition, the Montana Office of Consumer Protection says it's received 4 complaints regarding Jason Wilcox and his business, J&J Homes. The most recent submitted in June of this year.
Back to Alice.
Still, Jason stands by his product.
It's unfortunate. We don't want any unhappy customers. But we do have some unhappy customers, but we have hundreds of happy customers. And again, that's what we want to focus on, is giving people affordable, quality homes in a market that's expensive.
Even if others aren't buying it.
Buyer
Absolutely.
beware.
Buyer beware.
Buyer beware.
Well, when asked if the homeowners would be seeking legal action in the dispute, each tell me that's a tough one. They say they've reached out to numerous attorneys around town, with none of the ones they've talked to willing to take on their case.
Meanwhile, there are still big water problems in Big Timber.
The city's water was off nearly all Tuesday after a main line was hit. The water's back on, but many challenges continue to persist.
Big Timber is currently under a boil advisory, causing several businesses to have to close, while bottled water flies off the shelves. Our Phil Van Pelt has the latest.
Many businesses and restaurants around Big Timber have been forced to limit what they can do or close their doors altogether due to that water break, which leaves some, like the Grand Hotel behind me here, in a tough spot.
The Grand Hotel is the oldest operating hotel in the state of Montana.
If you live in Big Timber, you know the Grand Hotel.
This has always been the cornerstone for Big Timber.
So when something big is impacting business here,
it is hurtful.
There's a good chance it's symbolic of a bigger problem.
The whole town is hurting right now.
The Grand Hotel's restaurant currently sits empty at a time it would normally be hosting residents for lunch. It's been empty since Tuesday when a fiber optics crew inadvertently cut a water main. The water is back on, but that water remains compromised.
And the severity of it, got worse, and the health department or the cities put it on boil till October 24th. And at that point, we discussed it, we thought about it, and for the health and safety of our customers, it was just no option but to close. We will lose a lot of revenue this week.
Just blocks away at the fort, the impact of no water is being felt in more ways than one.
The biggest effect that we had initially the first day was restrooms. We're a convenience store, so people are wanting to stop in, and that's what they want, is a cup of coffee and a restroom, and we had neither to offer them.
In addition, bottled water is flying off store shelves, an item as good as gold to Big Timber residents.
I haven't pulled the numbers on actual increased sales, but it would probably be 10 times pretty easily of what we would normally sell in water.
Others, like Iron Star Pizza, are also feeling the impact.
It takes a lot of water to support a community. Yeah, you don't realize it until it's gone.
Justin Arlian owns the restaurant and says a week-long closure has tremendous repercussions.
If it was a day, it's not. It is what it is. A 7-day deal in our business is 7 days of lost income to pay our employees. Our employees are counting on paychecks.
Back at the Grand, the hotel's 39 employees are still at work, giving the hotel and restaurant a deep clean, amongst other things, responding to adversity the only way it knows how.
The Grand is tough. Big Timber people in general are tough. And we'll survive this. It's a little bump in the road. We'll all recover, and community will rally together.
In Big Timber, Phil Van Pelt, MTN News.
And a good Thursday afternoon, everyone. We had some stellar weather on this 19th day of October. But if you wanted to go back a couple months, that's where we actually have the average weather for today. Today's high in Billings, 81 degrees thus far. The low this morning was 51. We have to go back 50 days, over 7 weeks, to the 31st day of August. That's when we normally have the average highs in lower 80s and the average lows in lower 50s, way above average by 24 degrees this afternoon after a morning low, also 15 degrees warmer than average, and we're almost at the high for the day thus far. 80 degrees right now with the clear sky, a little bit less wind, west at 13 miles an hour, but do not get used to it. Big changes are coming. Of your forecast coming up.
Wyola School is back in attendance this week, and school trustees are voting today on appointing new leadership after the previous superintendent was arrested for keeping kids from going to school. It's been a tumultuous 2 weeks for the K-8 school as parents and school administrators have been clashing over allegations of abuse and mistreatment of kids. Parents say their children are being subject to physical abuse and derogatory name calling, while school staff says it's the parents who are showing aggressive behavior. As a result of the conflict, the former principal and superintendent, Kenneth Deputy, canceled nearly 2 weeks of school. Deputy was arrested last weekend and charged with 88 counts of child endangerment for preventing kids from going to school. A tribal judge told Deputy he was not allowed to have contact with other school leadership or interfere with school business. Yesterday, Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arntzen visited Wyola to meet with school staff as well as concerned parents.
They gave me a group of papers of not protest, but these are complaints. And that's that signature with email and phone number on the line. And they put their name on the line to say that they're protesting in a manner now that is more legal.
Arntzen says it's up to the trustees to appoint a new principal/superintendent, and that's on the agenda for the school board meeting tonight.
Still to come on the MTN 530 News on Q2, kicking cancer. A Laurel football player is making a huge difference off the field. We'll show you how next.
And in sports, Road to Recovery will head to Sheridan, Wyoming as their football team continues to rally behind one of their own. Scott has that story coming up in just a bit.